Whisper Library. We believe in books.
Most of the pain we carry was never chosen by us. It was inherited from words spoken to us, from expectations placed on us, from rules we never agreed to, but learned to obey. Don Miguel Ruiz begins with a simple truth. We are born free, but slowly trained to judge ourselves, doubt ourselves, and live by agreements that don't serve us. This book is not about changing the world. It's about changing the agreements you've made with it. You're listening to Whisper Library, where simple ideas create deep freedom. This book is rooted in ancient Toltec wisdom, but its message is timeless. Don Miguel Ruiz explains that human suffering comes from unconscious agreements, beliefs we accept as truth without ever questioning them. These agreements shape how we speak, how we love, how we judge, and how we suffer. The 4 agreements offer a new code for living, simple, powerful principles that help you reclaim personal freedom, emotional peace, and self-respect. They are not rules to obey, but understandings to practice, gently, imperfectly, and honestly. Domestication and the dream of the planet. From the moment we are born, we are taught how to be human. We learn what is right and wrong, what is acceptable and shameful, what makes us worthy, and what makes us wrong. This process, Don Miguel Ruiz calls domestication. Just as animals are trained with reward and punishment, humans are trained with approval and rejection. When we do what pleases others, we are praised. When we don't, we are judged. Over time, we internalize this system. We become our own judge, our own victim. We create a voice in the mind that constantly evaluates us, telling us we are not enough, or that we must be more to be loved. This voice shapes what Ruiz calls the dream of the planet, a collective dream made of beliefs, fears, expectations, and agreements. Most of our suffering comes not from reality itself, but from believing this dream without question. The first step toward freedom is awareness. To see that many of the rules you live by were never truly yours. And once you see that, you begin to wake up. Agreement 1. Be impeccable with your word. Words are powerful, more powerful than we realize. Don Miguel Ruiz begins the first agreement with a simple idea. Your word is your creative force. It can heal, or it can destroy. Every word you speak is a spell, not in a mystical sense, but in a psychological one. Words shape beliefs. Beliefs shape actions. Actions shape lives. When you speak against yourself, I'm not good enough, I always fail, I'm not worthy, you are using your word to create suffering. And when you speak carelessly about others, you spread that suffering outward. To be impeccable with your word means to use language with integrity, to say only what you mean, to avoid speaking against yourself or gossiping against others. Ruiz explains that gossip is one of the most destructive uses of the word. It spreads poison disguised as conversation, and when you participate in it, you agree to carry beliefs that don't belong to you. Being impeccable doesn't mean being perfect. It means being conscious, pausing before speaking, choosing truth over reaction. Your word can create freedom. A kind word can change someone's entire day. An honest word can break years of misunderstanding. A loving word toward yourself can begin deep healing. This agreement is the foundation of all the others. Because if you can control your word, you begin to control your inner world. Speak with intention. Speak with clarity. Speak with love, especially to yourself. That is where personal freedom begins. Agreement 2. Don't take anything personally. Nothing other people do is because of you. This agreement sounds simple, but it is one of the hardest to live by. Don Miguel Ruiz explains that every person lives inside their own mental world, their own fears, beliefs, wounds, and stories. What they say and do is a reflection of their inner state, not your worth. When someone criticizes you, it's tempting to believe it defines you. When someone praises you, it's tempting to depend on it. Both are traps. The moment you take something personally, you hand your power away. You allow someone else's opinion to control how you feel about yourself. Ruiz reminds us that people project constantly. Their anger, jealousy, insecurity, and pain often come out as judgment or blame. If you accept those projections, you suffer needlessly. Not taking things personally doesn't mean becoming cold or indifferent. It means becoming emotionally free. You still listen, you still care, but you don't internalize what isn't yours. When you stop taking things personally, criticism loses its sting. Praise loses its addictive pull. You no longer live to please or fear rejection. This agreement builds deep inner strength. You begin to trust yourself more than opinions. You respond instead of react. And slowly, something powerful happens. Other people lose the ability to disturb your peace. Freedom grows the moment you realize this truth. What others think of you is none of your business. Agreement 3. Don't make assumptions. Most of our suffering comes from assumptions we never question. Don Miguel Ruiz explains that humans have a powerful tendency to fill in the gaps of understanding with stories, and then believe those stories as truth. We assume what others think. We assume their intentions. We assume rejection, disrespect, or betrayal without ever asking for clarity. And then we react emotionally to something that may not even be real. Assumptions save time, but they cost peace. Ruiz shows how assumptions damage relationships. Instead of asking questions, we jump to conclusions. Instead of communicating clearly, we expect others to read our minds. When expectations aren't met, we feel hurt. But the pain didn't come from reality. It came from the assumption. The antidote is simple, but courageous. Ask questions. Express what you really want. Say what you really feel. Clear communication feels vulnerable, but it prevents misunderstanding. It replaces confusion with truth. When you stop making assumptions, drama disappears. Miscommunication fades. Resentment loses its fuel. This agreement teaches responsibility, not for others' behavior, but for your own clarity. You stop assuming people know what you mean. You stop assuming silence means rejection. You stop assuming the worst. And with that, your mind becomes lighter. Truth doesn't need imagination. It needs conversation. Freedom begins the moment you choose clarity over assumption. Agreement 4. Always do your best. This agreement brings balance to everything that came before it. Don Miguel Ruiz explains that your best is never fixed. It changes from moment to moment. Some days your best is strong and focused. Other days it is quiet and tired. And that's okay. Always doing your best does not mean pushing yourself relentlessly. It means showing up honestly with what you have right now. When you do your best, you remove regret. You stop judging yourself for not being perfect. You stop punishing yourself for being human. This agreement protects you from self-criticism. If you do your best, there is no room for guilt. Ruiz emphasizes that doing your best naturally supports the other agreements. When you do your best, your word becomes cleaner. You take things less personally. You stop making assumptions. Not because you force it, but because effort creates awareness. Doing your best is an act of self-respect. It says, I honor myself enough to try. And slowly, discipline becomes peace, not pressure. Freedom does not come from being flawless. It comes from being sincere. When you always do your best, you live without fear of judgment, from others or from yourself. That is real mastery. In the end, the 4 agreements is not about becoming someone new. It's about returning to who you were before fear, judgment, and false beliefs took over. These agreements are not rules to obey perfectly. They are practices, ways of living that gently dissolve suffering. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. Always do your best. Simple ideas, but when lived fully, they change everything. And that was the 4 agreements, a reminder that freedom is not found outside, but in the agreements you choose to live by. If this wisdom softened your mind or lightened your heart, carry it gently into your life. This is Whisper Library, where ancient truths speak softly and stay with you long after the words end. Until next time, choose awareness, choose kindness, and live free.